What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Paddock, and today we are going to talk about a launchpad blues lick. So what is a launchpad blues lick? What is a launchpad lick? A launchpad lick is what I call a short little phrase that you're going to use to launch you into improvisation. I use these all the time when I'm doing an Instagram post or when I'm doing my YouTube videos. I know I'm going to improvise, and I usually start off with like a 2-measure phrase that's going to kind of get me into it, and then I improvise from there. So I really like using these type of licks more than like your traditional 4-bar or 8-bar lick that you try to like jam into a solo. But if you have like this launchpad lick that can kind of get you started, or it can also connect phrases, it's really going to help your playing and kind of get you started improvising and into solos way easier. So this one is called the launchpad blues lick because it's based on the blues scale. So this one is going to be, you can use this one over a blues progression or a dominant 7th chord or a minor 7th chord. A dominant 7th chord or a minor 7th chord. So we are going to do it in the key of D on the tenor, and the lick is pretty easy. So we have 3 notes that repeat. We have a G sharp, an A, and a C. And it comes in on the and of 4. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So once you come in on the and of 4, it's just straight 8th notes for the first part of it. And those notes are G sharp, A, and C. 1, 2, 3. G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C. Now it sounds a little displaced because we're accenting the top note and we're coming in on the and. So it makes the lick sound way cooler than if I was just playing straight 8th notes without the accents. So listen to it one more time. This is the first part. 1, 2, 3. G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C. And then the last part of the lick starts on the G sharp and you play a triplet. G sharp, G, F. G sharp, G, F. So that's a triplet. G sharp, G, F, and then we land on a D. That is G sharp, G, F, and land on the D. Triplet, land on the D. So let's start at the beginning. Again, it comes in on the and of 4, and your notes are G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C, G sharp, A, C, and then you play the triplet, G sharp, G, F, and you land on the D. Comes in on the and of 4. 1, 2, 3. Pretty easy, right? Now it just ends going from the flat 7 to the 1. So from the C to the D. So I'm just going D, C, D. So we land on that D, then we play a C, and then back to the D. D, C, D. So from the triplet, it would be G sharp, G, F, land on the D, C, D. G sharp, G, F, D, C, D. So let's put the whole thing together. Again, we're starting on the and of 4. We're playing a measure of 8th notes, G sharp, A, C, and then we do that triplet, land on the D. 1, 2, 3. And that is your launchpad blues lick. So let's talk about the launchpad part of it first, and then we'll transpose the lick into another key. So the launchpad part is you're going to play this lick to start your solo and then go into improv from there. The lick kind of lends itself really easy to keep going with a blues scale or a dominant 7th scale, a mixed Lydian scale. We're in the key of D, so that'd be your D scale with C natural. But this lick sets you up really well. So this is what I'm talking about. I'll play the lick, and it's going to launch me into some more improvisation. Here I just kind of set you up. It's like, here is your lick, and you kind of get started with the solo, and then you can kind of take over with whatever you're doing. But it kind of gives you a really clean, easy way to get into the solo. Listen again. I'll do a different way. Again, it's just a launchpad lick. It's a really easy way to get you into an improv solo. Okay, back to the lick. When we talk about licks, we want to talk about them in scale degree numbers. And the reason we want to do that is so that it's really easy to transpose it into other keys, because you're not only going to be playing solos in the key of D. So the lick starts on a G sharp, which in the key of D is your sharp 4. So it goes sharp 4, 5, flat 7. So your sharp 4 is the G sharp, your 5 is the A, and the C is your flat 7. So it goes sharp 4, 5, flat 7, and it repeats 3 times. Sharp 4, 5, flat 7, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, sharp 4, 5, flat 7. Then it goes back to the sharp 4, and this time it goes down. Sharp 4, regular 4, flat 3, 1. So the G sharp is, again, of course, your sharp 4. The G is your regular 4. The F natural is your flat 3. And then the D is your 1. So that's the triplet lick. And then from there, it just goes from D, C, D, again, which is 1, flat 7, 1. So if we were going to do this in the key of G, the first thing we need to do is figure out what our sharp 4 is in the key of G. So our 4th note of the G scale is C, so our sharp 4 would be C sharp. Our 5 of the G scale is D, so the next note would be D. And the 7th note of the G scale is an F sharp. If we're going to make it a flat 7, it'd be F natural. So the notes in the key of G would be C sharp, D, F, and we'll repeat that 3 times. Again, C sharp, D, F, repeated 3 times. It comes in on the and of 4. And then we go back to the sharp 4, which we already know is a C sharp, starting that triplet. And then the note after that is the 4, which is the C. And the note after that is the flat 3, which is the B flat. And then we land on the 1, which in the key of G is G. Flat 7, which would be F natural, back to the 1, which is a G. So put that second half together. Sharp 4, 4, flat 3, 1, flat 7, 1. So it'd be C sharp, C, B flat, G, F, G. So the whole thing together, starting on the sharp 4 in the key of G, would start on a C sharp, D, F. And that is your Launchpad Blues lick. You can use this lick to start your solos. Or you can put it in the middle as a filler to kind of get back to the beginning of a phrase. And that is how your Launchpad Blues lick works. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video. If you now understand what a Launchpad lick is and are comfortable with this Launchpad Blues lick, I would really appreciate it if you'd leave me some comments, like the video, share it with your friends, click the little bell for notifications, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thanks a lot.